Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Band Protocol. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. And let's jump straight into the TA. Taking a look at the daily chart, you can see we have a Fibonacci retracement set up from the swing high in April 2021 down to the swing low in October 2020. This put our 1.618 Fibonacci level at exactly $1, and we've retraced down there in October 2022. We had a move to the upside. We back tested the previous support as resistance, which was $3.33. So this was quite the pump here for Band Protocol. We did a nice 265%, and after that we saw a 75% dip, and we retraced back down to where we started coming up from, which was $1 exactly. And we did dip a bit lower than that, but for the most part, we're holding the 1.618 level. And on top of that, if you're paying attention to the charts, you can see that we had a descending resistance trend line, this massive descending trend line, and we've been retesting it as resistance since April 2021. Then we had another retest in November, in December 2021, in April 2022, and then we broke out in 2023 in January to be exact. And then we had a back test of support in March, and right now we had another back test of support in June. So we had two perfect back tests of this previous resistance, and this shows strength. This is really good. The fact that we're not dropping below the 1.618 and we're not dropping below the yellow resistance trend line, which is now our support trend line. Now let's zoom in a bit and see what's going on. So we are above the 20 EMA. We're actually in between the 20 and the 55. So we're going to be looking at some sort of a decision here. From this local low in June, we're up 40%. I would wait a bit before dollar cost averaging because I think we're going to be having another correction sometime in the next few weeks. Could be in time for the FOMC meeting, could be after that. But if you really want to get into the project, this is still very cheap. Feel free to do so. I'm not a financial advisor. I do have a position in Band. I do have a nice bag that I'm going to be holding until the next bull market. I'm pretty bullish on this project. I don't think this is going to top Chainlink in terms of oracles, but I definitely think this is going to be one of the better projects in the Cosmos ecosystem during the bull market. And our next target after the 55 EMA is going to be the 1.414 Fib level, which is at $1.49 roughly. And that resistance was retested back in May in 2023, so just a month ago or a few months ago, and back in June at the start of the month. So we might be coming up to retest that one more time, and then we get sent back down. So that is a potential play that we're looking at here. If we are to set a Fib retracement from the low over here up to this local high that we printed back in April 2023, you can see we have our 0.5 sitting at $1.42, and we have our golden ratio, the 0.618, sitting at $155.50. If I extend the Fib to the east here a little bit, you can see this golden area, this golden pocket is going to be a massive level of resistance for us. You can see we consolidated in this area in May and June, then we dropped below, so we could be coming back up to retest it as resistance before we head back down. And God knows if we're going to be dropping below this low or if we're going to be printing a higher low and then continuing into an uptrend and printing a local high in August or in September. If I extend this to the west, so to speak, you can see that we do have multiple bounces off this area as well. So back in November 2022, back in December 2022, back in March 2022, or 23, sorry. And this shows that this area is of confluence. So we could be retracing back up to $1.50 roughly, which from where we are right now is another 15% to the upside, and afterwards we could be looking at another dip back to the 1.618, which is a 32% or 33% pullback. This is just a hypothetical, obviously. If you're buying for the long term, don't get too attached to these support levels. I would say buy as much as you can while the prices are cheap, and the prices are cheap right now. If you have a really good position in Band Protocol, there's no need to FOMO in right now or go all in. Just gradually start averaging in until you get down to these prices. Now, if you start losing this low, we'll take a look at some support levels to the downside on the weekly chart in just a bit. But switching over to the daily RSI, we are, as you can see, recovering from this oversold. Once you get below the index of 30 on the RSI, that means you're oversold, and this typically is a very good buying opportunity, just like we had a very good buying opportunity in March 2023. And if I zoom out just a bit, you can see that we do have a descending resistance trend line here that we're adhering to. So we've been back testing this resistance trend line a few times already. So once in January 2023, actually 2 times. Then we had a back test in April. And now we're potentially looking at another back test here. So this could send us back down. And then you also have a nice support block that you can target for entries. Real simple. Just buy at the bottom and you can take some profits once you start running into this resistance level here. Real simple. But that's if you want to be swing trading and if you want to be more risky, so to speak. If you are looking for long term, like I said, these are very good prices. Feel free to buy in and hold for the next few years, just like I'm doing. If I'm going to be swing trading, my patrons will be advised first, obviously. And now let's switch over to the weekly chart. And before we continue with the video, I quickly want to mention my Patreon that's linked down below in the description. If you enjoy my content, you want to get more exclusive content, and you want to support me at the same time, definitely feel free to check out the Patreon, because you're going to get a 7-day free access on my Patreon and an instant access to all of my content since October 2021, which is when I started. You'll get access to content like exclusive weekly podcasts, and we're starting to invite guests already. We have 40 plus low cap gem posts. We have a bunch of project reviews. We have a bunch of resources that are going to help you save time and make more money with this upcoming bull market. So this is definitely a great exchange of value for the both of us. And once again, there's a 7-day free trial. Feel free to check it out. You can leave anytime, and let's continue with the video. Taking a look at the weekly chart, as you can see, we do have a Fibonacci retracement set up from the swing high we printed in November 2022 down to the swing low we printed in October. Now, if we start losing this low, we're going to be looking at 61 cents roughly, which is going to be our 1.618 target. And you might say that's a bit bearish. Well, yes, this is going to be bearish. This is not going to be very good. But it's going to be good for the people who are looking to get into the project at cheap prices. All the paper hands are going to start selling here, but you can sell your tokens to me at these prices. If Band Protocol gets down to 60 cents, sell me all your tokens. I'm going to buy them all up. So this is how I deal with pullbacks. There is a potential scenario where we drop out of this symmetrical triangle here, obviously. I'm not saying we're going to have to break out, but we did see a bounce off this support trend line in October. We're seeing another bounce off that trend line in June, and we do have a resistance level above us. So if we end up breaking above this resistance, we could be looking at a nice impulsive move to the upside. If you want to measure that potential breakout target, we could take a trend line and place it at the presumed breakout area, or the presumed breakout spot, and that will take us all the way up to $3.42, which is in line with this local high that we printed in October. So we can add a trend line to this low that we printed in February and March 2022. So we retested it briefly as resistance in October, and we could be doing the exact same thing over here if we end up breaking out. Like I said, if we have some bullish news coming out, if Bitcoin, Ethereum start pumping, altcoins may see a rally in August and September. We could run into $3.30 and then have another pullback afterwards. So this could be a swing tradable event. Obviously, like I said, be careful. If you don't have any experience with swing trading, just let your tokens sit in a cold wallet and just wait for the bull market, acquire some knowledge before doing anything irrational. Actually, don't do anything irrational at all. That's a better way to word it. Now, jumping into the weekly RSI, you can see we have an ascending support trend line that we've been holding since June 2022. And if we compare this with the price action, you can see there's a bit of a divergence going on here. We have a bit of a bullish divergence playing out, which is when the price action is printing a lower low, but the RSI is printing a higher low. Now, this typically ends up with a nice move to the upside. So this actually supports our theory, our bullish theory, where we're going to be seeing a brief breakout, a retest of previous resistance, and then a move back down, hopefully to back test the resistance as support, the lower resistance here. So that is something that I'm looking at here. The stochastic is starting to recover from the oversold. That's also a pretty good sign. So we could be on a verge of a breakout out of this pattern. But like I said, nothing is guaranteed. A symmetrical triangle is a 50-50 pattern, no bias. So be careful, buy in while you still have the chance. You're very low and you're looking good to buy actually in this support block. Let me add this to the chart. You have this little trading range here in 2020, and you could actually look at this as a very good buying opportunity. So if I extend this a bit more, you can see we created a resistance level in June 2020, had a back test the same month, and then we broke out, and now we're coming down and we are retesting this level as support. We've done so twice already, and as long as you're in this block, I would say you're also very early in terms of the price action. So $1.57.5 down to $1.10, really good buying opportunities in this range for the next bull market. Now, hopefully that's going to cover everything for this video. If we're going to be looking at targets during the bull market, we need to print the bear market low, and right now it's not certain that this is our bear market low, so I'm not going to talk about the targets to the upside yet. But if we were actually to, let's assume this is our low, okay? Let's assume the June 2023 low is our actual bear market low. We take a fib, drag it all the way up to the all-time high price here in April 2021, and we have our 1.272 target at $32. Then we have the 1.414 at $57, and we have the 1.618 at $102. I would say, to be more conservative, $57 sounds pretty realistic and pretty doable in my opinion. So that would be our target at the moment, considering this is going to be our bear market low, which, like I said, could be invalidated within a span of a few weeks. So let's stay bullish, let's stay positive, and let's try to help each other out in this space. And let's try to learn together in this space and hopefully secure profits during the next bull market as close as humanly possible to the peak. And that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about. Thank you all for watching, and take care.